Welcome to the video from Income Trading the Markets. This video is about creating trend lines and how to create them. I've chosen a specific market in Euro CAD, the Euro dollar versus the Canadian dollar, and a specific time. We're sort of around June of 2015, the middle of the charts are at the moment, for good reason. So let's have a look. It looks like we've got a bit of a trend happening here at the moment, which we'll investigate. But let's go back a little bit and let's just see where prices come from. So it looks like we've got a significant high up here, so we can start to create a bit of a trend line there that was broken. We've got a bit of an area through here where clearly prices created the downtrend and come back into these areas a number of times before continuing on down. And this sort of overlaps with my video about trend channels, but why not go through it? So let's have a quick look at this, and we'll just copy this segment and let's put it down here and just see what we get. So there's a good example of a great little trend channel that has occurred from March 2014 through to about April 2015. So that's about a year. Long trend line. Why not? And now as we sort of go out, we've clearly got a pivot low, which we know about now because afterwards we can see what's happened. But at the time you wouldn't have known that was going to be the pivot low. But it's interesting that price has extended a long way away from this downtrend line. And so getting down near the lows here, you would expect, well, not expect, but you would be thinking possibly that there's an extended trend. So as we look towards, price comes down, it sort of hasn't created a new high here yet, but if we notice this point here is your new high, and that's a bit of a sign that we might have a change of trend. And then if we start to look at these lows, this low here, it's slightly higher than that low there. But, yeah, does it really mean a lot? For me, no, it doesn't. But we've got a new high, which has essentially broken the downtrend as well, the previous downtrend. And now we're thinking, is there possibility for price to go up? This little area here is interesting. That's as a result of, that big gap down is as a result of the Greek crisis. I think that was over the weekend, around about the time when the banks were closed for a week because of financial controls imposed upon them. So then when we create a new trend line, we start the lows here, we move up through this area. There's a significant area where the big gap down is. There's no doubt about that. And looking reflectively now on it, we can see that it's sort of, is that your trend line? I'm not sure, because as price continues on, you can see that we've actually got a really lovely trend line through here. Now it's not quite exact, but that's a trend line that works really well. Now this is an anomaly through here, but sometimes we need to find the points on the trend line that get the most amount of touches, and that's where the strength lies. And so after this point, after this sort of circumstance happens, and then price starts working off that trend line again, then you can see the strength in it, and there's clear strength in it. Obviously there, which first touch, but then we sort of got an area here, we've got it here, we've got it here, we've got it here. And that's a nice strong trend line that price is clearly showing that it wants to conform to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 or 7 strong touches there. And that's what you're looking for when you're trying to decide upon where your trend lines are. With this particular trend line, this particular uptrend line as well, there's probably, I haven't checked, but there's probably quite the opportunity that we've got towards the top of the trend line. We've got something through there. We've possibly got a bit of a trend channel through there, but that's what you're really looking forward to when you're working out your trend lines is getting as many touches as you can get on it, and occasionally have to ignore the anomaly that does occur in the markets, because the markets aren't black and white, as I've mentioned about. I've written a great article about it in my free education. The markets aren't black and white, they're very grey. They're very grey because it's a bunch of humans making decisions in the markets. And we're not all working together, are we? We're all working off different thoughts and different patterns, different setups, different analysis. So there's a little insight into creating your trend lines.